the problem with Corbyn is painfully simple, and the same probably goes for a lot of his supporters, which is that he's a campaigner. And as a campaigner, he only really cares, to the point of obsession, about the underdog. And in Israel itself,
oh boy,
Jews aren't the underdogs. And in his sort of slightly limited, very unsophisticated take on history, in many echelons of business, Jews aren't the underdogs either. So and I think that's all it is.
Oh gosh. I like that.
I have nothing else to say.
We're breaking all the rules of phone-in radio today.
I'm going to try and get some sleep now.
But, so, I mean, briefly, I won't let you go just yet, but the simple, I mean, and that in a way doesn't have to be a criticism of him either. I know you used words like simplistic, but you could have said idealistic. He casts himself as the protector of the underdog, and that's why Jewish people will never fit into his worldview in the way that people of colour do, or at the moment in Britain, Muslims or other groups.
It's not a criticism of him as a campaigner,
no,
but it is very much a criticism of him as a politician or a political leader.
And because his core support is passionately protective of the underdog, economically, actually, these days more than ethnically, the idea of the left behind, the people who've suffered most from austerity, they struggle to see why they should care unduly or more about Jewish people or people in Israel than they do about their more traditional constituencies.
But without wishing to sound too condescending,
go on.
You know, their job is, you know, they don't have to be all that sophisticated in their thinking. It'd be nicer if they were.
Yes.
But Corbyn does have a responsibility, and he's failing.
Well, that is something which I would also agree with. Not everybody listening would. It seems to me almost impossible to account for the failure to pull further ahead of the worst government that arguably we've ever had, with a leader of the opposition who some people think is so wonderful. He must bear some responsibility. But no, he doesn't. It's the biased media. If it wasn't for the biased media, he'd be doing this, that and the other. Yeah, well, show me the time in British history when the media wasn't biased against left-wing politicians. Even left-wing politicians who weren't that left-wing at all, like Tony. But look what they did to Gordon Brown, man. Jeremy Clarkson was on telly describing him as a one-eyed Scottish idiot, and right-wing columnists laughed it off. I don't think Jeremy Corbyn has come in for worse ad hominem abuse than Gordon Brown or Ed Miliband did.